Hey guys, I'm going to try to get this Intel summary done really quickly. I had to stop my live stream early because we had a dog training appointment. So this is your Intel summary for today. This is Thor. He just had a first dog training session. He's doing so good. He's the perfect puppy and I love him. So guys, we had lots of articles we went through today. You can always look at the live stream. We went through the articles pretty quick. I also had a Q&A session that was the bomb. I clarified when to call the banks, when to go to the banks. You need to watch the live stream. So there was a cautionary tale. Iran has allegedly hung a Mossad agent. I showed that picture for all the people that are fighting for all these crazy things in this country. You should be aware they hang people like for just suspecting them to be a Mossad agent. Prime Minister's advisor explains reasons for the dollar rise in the parallel market. That was a very interesting article, guys. You know they're not just going to come out and say that they're going to revalue their currency. In fact, they're going to do the opposite. Like when they released the 2026 budget at the beginning of the year with the program rate that's the same as what the rate is on Google between the IQD and the USD, the 1300. That is the rate we've always been seeing. That's the program rate. They've already tested inflation in Iraq. I've gone through those articles, 17 to 31 articles every day because of our military sources that were stationed there. And they're still there in harm's way. So please pray for the military that is there. They helped to rebuild Iraq. They helped to do all of that. So continue to pray for them. Here, I'm going to do something I just learned. So we're going to do that. Hold on. So the next article was PM al-Sudani targets Iraq targets oil derivative exports by 2030. That was an interesting article. There goes that date again, 2030. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think, you should get on my Zoom if you want to know what I think the global geopolitical, if you've heard about 2030, comment down below. I've heard about 2030. That's all I can say on this side of YouTube. Then the next article was Al-Maliki rejects Trump's position, continues candidacy, premiership. Evidently, they're accusing Trump of entering into their elections. What do you think about that? Comment down below. What do you think? I love all your comments. Whether you agree with me or not, it doesn't matter. Guys, I just love bringing you truth, facts, and optimism coming out of Iraq. I love holding this puppy. He's tired. He needs to go to sleep, but I didn't want to put him in his crate yet. I just love him so much. If you love puppies, I love puppies. Because everybody loves puppies. If you don't love puppies, you're probably not going to like me because my puppies are always in my videos. Now we've got Claire, President Trump ex-post. I'm hearing that the great country of Iraq might make a very bad choice by reinstalling Nouri al-Maliki as prime minister. Last time Maliki was in power, the country descended into poverty and total chaos. That should not be allowed to happen again because of his insane policies and ideologies. If elected, the United States of America will no longer help Iraq. And if we are not there to help, Iraq has zero chance of success, prosperity, or freedom. Make Iraq great again. What do you think, guys? It's really spicy. I just know my prayers are there to make sure the right leader is hopefully installed. Just pray with us that the right leader is installed. Mark Z, question, is al-Sudani out of the picture for PM right now? Mark Z said he is not out of the picture, but there is a lot of back and forth about Maliki right now. I think it's all show, and we'll see the return of Sudani. Mountain Goat, this week will be a pivotal week in Iraq. They are supposed to announce their candidate for president. As we know, the new president, good boy, as we know, the new president then announces the nominee for prime minister. That will be when the task to form, that will then be tasks to form his cabinet. That doesn't really make sense, but that is what it is. I'm reading based on these summaries of everybody else. Militiaman, the CBI can legally adjust to a managed rear rate at any time they deem prudent. There's no need to wait for a new government. The system is ready. It's fundamentally strong. The digital tools are live. Convergences are complete. I have always agreed with Militiaman. Thank you, Militiaman, for your summary, bringing calm out of chaos, looking at the facts, looking at the financial system. It is digital, guys. We're the ones that first reported on the digital dinar. It was yesterday when I looked at it, it was 0.68. That is the digital dinar on Handle Forex on Coinbase. That's the only place you can find it. It's a Forex, it's a Handle Forex designation. It's not comparable to the USD still until it goes on Forex. And again, this morning I showed again the Forex letter that we have that Iraq is loaded but suppressed on all layers, FX, VU, telemetry layers, and right now it's coordinated political timing. It sounds as though the politics are a little crazy. God said, don't worry about the banks. It's going to be messy. Take the money and run. If you've been hearing a lot of the rumors, the banks are going to collapse because of the price of silver, you're going to want to subscribe and tap the bell and get on my live streams and ask me those questions tomorrow morning at 9. That is the next time I'll be live. That's 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. So now we're going to go to the rest of the summary. We hit the high ones, the most important. Let's go to Sandy Ingram. She goes, I know we've had arguments before. People have said to me, Iraq is not under sanctions. You don't know what you're talking about. She said, it's BS. No. Anytime the U.S. holds your $112 billion oil profits in their banks in the Federal Reserve in New York, you are under what we call shadow sanctions. Interesting perspective. You are not free to go. Iraq is not free to go out and do whatever the hell it wants to do. I don't care what you say or how you say it. To me, that's sanctions. Okay, let's get soft with it. Let's call it shadow sanctions. I like that perspective. Guru Jeff, be careful of what you trust and read in the news because this is a classified investment. They want you to look at Iraq as an unstable nation, as a distraction to get you out of the investment so you can't decipher the timing at which the rate is going to change. Some people say that about cryptos. Right? Do you have diamond hands or do you get fear and you let them scare you out of the market? Mark Z says, per their constitution, they need to vote on the president by the end of the day today, January 28th. So I believe the president will be sat tomorrow. Even if they vote, it might not be public, right? So we'll see what happens, guys. Samson says, article, gold prices soar globally and the Iraqi myth-qual surpasses 1 million. Baghdad reshapes its reserves map with the weight of the precious metal. Amen. Frank 26, he's another big person that people love. Dinar holders, Mrs. B. Bank, first never did, but Chase has many times and they still do here. They're not going to cash it, this and that. So I'm like, all right. Done with you, insulted, done with Chase, Bank First, here I am. Frank said, so Bank First knew it's foreign currency that you want to exchange. Dinar holder, if you're following my strategies, you would not be calling the banks right now because you're going to get this kind of messy stuff. But I'm going to continue to read this as it is written per Frank 26. This is not me. This is not my 3 steps. This is Frank just saying call the banks without a strategy. I say you should always have a strategy when you're dealing with the banks because they're not your friend and you're not going to leave your money in the banks according to my strategy. You're going to take the money and run. I teach you how to do that. So dinar holder Mrs. B, yep, and they said they take that one and they take the dong. The dong, because the Vietnam dong is already on Forex, I'm pretty sure, but it's just been devalued. But it's still listed. Tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know, guys. I'm not an expert on that, but I am an expert on Iraq because I've been studying it ever since I got invested in it. And I also hold the Vietnam dong. I believe the Iraqi dinar is going to go first because that's what the prophet Kim Clement said. That's also what a lot of other prophets are saying. They're agreeing with me that it's done, and God told me that almost 4 years ago. They didn't deny it. So didn't Mrs. B. Again, this is a bank story according to Frank. And it's a little long-winded. I apologize if it confuses you. Just get on my live stream tomorrow. I'll clarify it. Dinar holder Mrs. B. Yep. And they said that they take that one and they take the dong. Frank said that one. You mean tell me they were talking about the dinar. Dinar holder Mrs. B said, yep, they sure did. They didn't deny it one single bit. Every time I would call Chase, I got denied. Denied. This was the first thing that actually said yes. And they were friendly and nice. And said, when the time's here, come on in and we got you. Come on in, go to the nearest teller and we'll cash it and put it in your account. Bing, bam, boom. That's a good story. That's a good bank story in the end, right? Frank 26, he taught, again, this is first part. If I ask the bank, Lord help me, dinar holder, Mrs. B, this is part 1 of 2. It says, okay, I'm going to read the first part and then go back to the second part while I've got a puppy in my hands. I hope you just relax. I know your big brother's right down there. Dinar holder, Mrs. B. I asked if they Bank First take the currency Iraqi dinar. He said, yes, we do. He asked if I had an account and I said, no, I would like to open one. He said, can I ask you how much currency do you have? I told him and he's like, oh, wow. Can I put you on hold real quick? Came back and said, someone's going to call you back today. Not even 30 seconds after hanging up with him, I got a phone call. They wanted me to come in the next day to open an account. I went in, opened my account and talked with the loan officer. She said, when the time is here, I go and I bring in my currency to a teller and they'll take care of it. And it was as easy as that. And they put it in my account. We were like, wow, that's easy. We were shocked and we were happy. And now we're waiting for the go. Frank, had they ever in the past told you it was a scam? She said, this is dinar holder Mrs. B. Everybody's probably going to be talking about this story. Bank first never did. But Chase has many, many times said, and they still do here, that they're not going to cash it, this and that. So I'm like, all right, done with you, Insulted, done with Chase. Bank first, here I am. Frank said, so Bank first knew it's foreign currency that you want to exchange. She said, yep. And they said they take that one and they take the dong. Frank said, that one, you mean to tell me that you knew you were talking about the dinar. Dinar holder Mrs. B said, yep, they sure did. They didn't deny it one single bit. Every time I would call Chase, I got denied, denied, denied. This was the first thing that actually said yes, and you were really friendly and nice and said, when the time's here, come on in, and we got you. Come on in. Go to the nearest teller, and we'll cash it and put it in your account. Page 2 of 2. This is not in accordance with my strategies at all, but I'm glad we have this story, aren't you? Comment down below. And then Fun Lou comes in, response to Guru Frank 26. This is a common misconception. By 2026, with faded hype dealer complaints, active holders are estimated at 100,000 to 500,000 U.S. residents. That's us. 100 to 500,000. This factor in attrition from scam warnings, market disinterest, and recent bank access, reducing speculation. No fresh count exists from dealers. This equates to around 1 in 600 people hold dinar. There will be no mob scenes at banks when an RV happens. Well, I agree with Fun Lou. That's why you should do a private exchange. You don't need to go to some center. Militia Man, I'm looking for real data. What that data gives me is unshakable conviction in a study of the Iraqi dinar. I don't go based off rumors, promises, not somebody else's opinions. I want to know the true fundamentals. They have reserves, oil, wealth, non-oil growth, silica, phosphates, sulfur. You see about 16 trillion worth of assets they have. I don't do hype. I don't do dates and rates. I do what the data shows, and the data has never been any clearer. Iraq is executing implementation, and it's happening. Sanger Ingram, I don't want you to get upset, but al-Maliki has been nominated by the dominant Shiite bloc. That doesn't mean he's going to go. I'm just saying. See, he said it hasn't happened yet. Here's the deal. Can Maliki quiet the storm between Iranian influence and Iraq and U.S. tensions? I don't think it's any of our business. We just want to go to the bank, right? If you just want to go to the bank, comment, I just want to go to the bank. So guys, that's it. You're updated. I do these summaries every day. It's easy to be updated if you subscribe, tap the bell, and it's always free here. So God bless you. I hope you have a good day. I will see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And if you love dogs, say, I love dogs. He just wants to go play with his brothers. He's had a busy training session. After this, he's going to go in for a nap because he really needs a nap. And he also needs his dinner. It's his lunchtime, and then he's going to sleep. So have some food, relax, and join us on the next live, 9 a.m. Eastern time, or watch the replay whenever you get off work. I love you guys. The replay this morning was fast. It was efficient and very targeted. A lot of good Q&A. I suggest you start with the live stream from this morning on January 28th. I don't even have a thumbnail on it yet. It's just me going like this. It was really good, guys. A lot of covered information. I hope you like it. Comment down below if you went from this Intel summary to the live stream. Say, hey, I just came from your Intel summary. If you follow instructions here, you're going to be fine. You're going to be safe, and you're not going to be confused at all. I try to clarify everything for you. So I love you all. I'll see you later. Bye.